Yo, what up, though? Welcome to the What Up, Though Show Network. This is the show where we talk a little smack, where we talk a little football, we talk a little sports. This is the show where we talk a whole lot. This is the Showdown. Yo, what up, though? I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. I am here live with the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Waze, and it is time for the Showdown. We got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. It was NFC and AFC Championship weekend. The Super Bowl teams are set. We're going to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about stories around that. And in the house with us, we got the man that's working on his debut mixtape, Rob 45, a.k.a. Big Ed. What up, though?
What up, what up?
Yo, yo, yo. And also in the building, we've got the graphic artist extraordinaire. What's going on, Waze? What's happening, our producer?
Oh, what's good, man? What's good?
It's all good in the hood. And, of course, I am your host of the show and your host of the network, the What Up Though Show Network. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We want more subscribers to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and like our shows. Enjoy them. We have a good time with them. And I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. And on that note, Waze,
Yes.
I'm following your lead tonight. What's going on, man?
All right, so we got to talk about these NFC championship, the AFC championship game first.
Okay.
KC Baltimore.
Ooh.
I didn't get to see that game because I was up here working, but I heard there was a lot of controversy behind it.
I don't see too much controversy.
A lot of people are saying
Here.
a lot of people are saying that the refs totally botched the game.
Oh no, I didn't. It wasn't no refs. No, I tell you who botched the game. Lamar Jackson botched the game, and the coaching staff botched the game. The refs had nothing to do with it. The chefs were just better. Patrick Mahomes was masterful. Andy Reid called a great game, and that Chiefs defense just kept Lamar from running. You know, I thought I heard somebody else say this, and I thought they hit the nail on the head. It's almost like Lamar is trying too hard to not be what they're saying he is. Right?
Yeah.
Run the fucking ball. Who cares? It's the AFC Championship game. You win, you go to the Super Bowl. You got an open lane, take it. Don't just force throws and try to make something happen out the pocket because they say that's what you can't do. You ain't got to prove no. All you got to prove is you win this game. You prove everything you need to prove. That's all. Just win. So I thought he was a little too reluctant of a runner, and he threw some bad passes, threw some into traffic, threw some away, some stupid penalties late in the game by Zay Flowers, and the fumble by Zay Flowers. It cost them, man, and Andy Reid was making them pay for it. I mean, the defense did their job. The defense held Kansas City to 0 points in the second half. But Kansas City held Baltimore to 3. And they needed more than that, That's the bottom line. That's what it came down to. And they were moving. They were moving the ball. They just couldn't put it in the end zone. What did you see, Wade?
I saw Lamar Jackson disappoint me. That's the biggest takeaway is Lamar disappointed me. To be honest, Zay, he was getting on fire, but he sizzled out really fast. And that was another big issue they had. If he could stay consistent that game, I think Lamar could have hit him more. But KC went out there and did what KC usually does every year.
Yeah, they were professionals. They were the consummate professionals, man. They've been there, done that. Andy Reid knew what he was doing, and he knew when to lean on Mahomes and when not to. And he's the factor that we didn't count last week when we were talking about the game. But and so the Chefs are back in the Super Bowl, and I thought it was a great game. Actually, I thought it was a very good game. But I agree with you. Lamar disappointed me too.
Yeah.
Lamar was the point. I ain't putting nothing on the refs at all. There was no controversy. Um, that was it's kind of, that was just a lack of creativity because they rushed. They wouldn't run the ball in the second half. They were running the ball like crazy, and they wouldn't run the ball in the second half at all.
No.
And they didn't run the ball much all day actually. It was, but they were when they did run it, it was effective, and they just got away from it.
Yeah, because Justice Hill was out there putting in that work, and then
Guess that was two
yeah,
when
and
he
then,
when he got the ball,
yeah,
but they got away from it, and they got away from it early, and that was a mistake. And all they did from there was just teed up on Lamar ass, and they bum rushed him. It was blitz after blitz after blitz. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him from going side to side.
yep.
But when he scored, he made a few spectacular plays.
Oh yeah,
He made some spectacular plays, but when you didn't need the spectacular, I just need consistency. We didn't get it.
yeah,
We didn't get it. Mahomes didn't do anything spectacular. He just played the he basically was the game manager.
yeah,
When we need to make a play, I'm gonna make a play.
yeah.
Period.
That's exactly
And
what he did.
yeah, well, Lamar that had the spectacular slip out, they throw the bomb, touchdown. Reed threw a pass to himself.
Yeah, little pork chop came in here telling me about that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I had a double look on that one because I was like, wait, did he just complete a pass to himself?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he had the flair for the spectacular, but he didn't have the consistency, and that was the difference in the game to me. So
Good thing that game don't count in the MVP race.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, because he will be getting the MVP still. I do believe that wholeheartedly.
I can agree with that. So you guys hear about what's going on with Tom Brady now? Have you?
No,
After the Super Bowl, he'll be the new lead analyst or commentator of for Fox.
okay. Well, he signed with them a long time ago, though.
He did.
Yeah, yeah, that was coming. He was still playing when he signed with Fox, so
Didn't he sign like a 10-year deal with them?
something like that. Yeah, for a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more money than he was making that last year of his contract.
yeah, yeah. It's like 30 million a year, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's getting that Giselle money.
getting that Giselle money. Yeah.
Uh, there is the very real possibility that Bill Belichick could be joining him.
Um, whatever. I'm not. That doesn't move my needle at all. That doesn't excite me. I don't give a fuck about Bill Belichick. I really don't.
I don't think they'd be in the booth together.
No.
Well, I mean, I've seen them. I've seen them in the booth together before, and it was all cool. You know, they grown, but Bill Belichick is boring. I
Yeah,
mean, that doesn't excite me at all.
No.
Like zero.
I can agree with that. It would be interesting to hear the game from his perspective, though. But I could see him more like on like a pregame show or halftime show type deal, like what they do at Gronk.
Yeah, but what they got to do is play defense.
Just do your job.
Yeah, cut the commercial. No, doesn't excite me at all.
All right. So you guys planning to watch the Pro Bowl at all?
No,
Man, what are we doing here, man?
we're missing the game.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Oh man, the NFC championship game.
What are we doing here?
I spaced
Practice?
out.
What are we talking about? Practice?
What are we?
I sure
mean,
spaced out.
There was absolutely another game. I mean, there's
Yeah.
two teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh man, we got the Lions at the 49ers. I completely just spaced out on that game.
Oh, very exciting game. Very great game. I mean, it's funny because, like I said, I turned off the phone, I turned off social media, I turned off everything so that I could just enjoy the game. So it was funny to me after the game to turn everything back on and see all of the messages and how everybody was already in the Super Bowl at halftime. Everybody in Detroit was already in the Super Bowl.
I thought so.
And then it happened.
Man, talk about disappointing.
They owned the first half, man. They owned the first half. They owned them. They did everything. Everything they wanted to do, they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And the second
Especially-
half, it just collapsed.
Especially run the ball.
They ran them. They ran it down their throat. They ran it. They were. I mean, they were just too effective with everything. And then the second half, it was just. It was a flip. It was a tale of two halves, man.
I think Detroit got ahead of themselves at halftime.
I think there was too many risky plays made. Too many chances that where it was better to punt it or kick the field goal on fourth down to go ahead and just go for it and be very aggressive. Really. But man, that game was so fun to watch until the
was
second
a fun
half.
game to watch, man. That was a fun game to watch. Even in the second half, I just enjoyed the hell. It was a great game. Watching the comeback was great, but I mean, and Dan Campbell caught a little heat about those aggressive plays, but I'm not giving him none, and I'm going to tell you why. That 4th and 2, the play worked. Josh Reynolds dropped the ball.
Yeah.
He makes that play. We have a completely different conversation.
Hmm.
He makes that play. Now, here's a stat that just came up today that nobody's talking about this one on a national stage. Locally, this stat has come out, and it really changes the perspective of how I felt about those risky, or it justifies how I felt about those risky plays.
Okay.
Bagley, the Lions kicker, from 48 yards and up, it's only hitting about 30 to 35%. So he's going for it because, and ain't no guarantee this motherfucker about to hit a 48-yard field goal.
Hmm.
But if Josh Reynolds make that catch, now I'm in his field goal range. Now I'm in field goal range that I'm comfortable with my kicker if I need to. But I got a fresh set of downs, so I might even get a touchdown out of this. But I definitely can get a field goal. But I don't want to send my field goal kicker on the field to miss a field goal because that's going to suck. Right? Now, Josh Reynolds drops the ball. That begins the turn of the tide. Right? Because the 49ers came out hot. Second half. They came out hot, but then they stopped them. They came out hot. You could tell the energy was different, but they did get stopped. Lions get the ball back and got stopped on that 4th and 2, changed the game. 49ers came down and scored. Then, oh boy, fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Jameer Gibbs fumbles. They get a short field. They score again, right? And then they get the ball back again. Josh Reynolds drop another pass on third down. Drops another. There's a guy that only had 2 drops all season,
Mm-hmm.
and he had two drops in almost back to back drives. 2 and 3 drives. He drops. He has 2 drops right there, and so now they got to punt it away. 49ers score again. You know what I'm saying? So then now the game has changed. Now the crowd is in it to it. The comeback is complete, and now it's about what we gonna do now. And I wasn't big on it. The only reason, see, on that 4th and 3, that second time he went for it, I didn't think he should have went for it until I heard that stat today because that was a 48-yard field goal that he would have to take. So while everybody's counting, he only left 6 points on the field. Not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 70% chance that he didn't leave shit on the field. There's a 70%. He knew there's a 70% chance that this motherfucker missed his field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a higher percentage of a chance, an 80 to 90% chance that we can get 3 yards.
Right. And then not only that, that's kind of the thing that helped get them to where they are, is him making those risky calls like that.
I agree with that.
And that's why I wasn't too mad at him, but a few of them they could have definitely done without. I
mean, he only had those 2 because the one he did in the first half, they made the first down.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They got the first down in the first half when they went for it. Then there was the one time that he didn't go for it and kick the field goal to go into the half. Right? They needed 2.5 yards and he kicked the field goal instead. And then there was those 2 times in that third quarter he went for it and didn't get it. That was the only 3 times he went for it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Either way, though, I wasn't too terribly disappointed with them. We all knew the 49ers wasn't just going to buckle under pressure, come out at halftime, and continue the way they've been playing. So we all knew that fight was coming either way. So it was just more of the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't agree with when it comes to Dan Campbell is something he said after the game when he told the team that this is probably was our only chance, essentially. I wouldn't have said something like that as a coach to my team because I don't want that to be getting into their head going into the next season.
I mean, it was a great opportunity. They were right there. They were right there. They were right on the cusp of going to the Super Bowl. I mean, look at some of the plays. What about the play that happened when Brock Purdy threw the ball, basically threw an interception, but it goes through the Lions player's hands and hits his face mask and bounces up into Ayuk's hands. What? Come on, man. And Ayuk was coming down from originally jumping to try to catch that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Missed it. It goes and hit this guy face mask and bounces back into his hands. I was like, wow.
That is the definition of luck in football.
That's when it's sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That's why they say it right there, that one. But you know what also they say? Luck is when opportunity meets. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yep.
Yes.
So when it bounced off, he had not given up on that play.
Yeah.
And they made that play, and that's when I realized, I said, that's it. 49ers headed to the Super Bowl, baby.
Man.
That was it. Something like that. That is the helmet catch play. When you get those kind of plays, that's it. When you get that one play, that's it. That's the backbreaker. That's it. That means it's on. The guys are with you right now. That's it. You're done. What did you think about Brock Purdy's play in the second half?
It got a lot better because that first half was rough with a capital oof. Because man, I was like, uh-oh. Brock Purdy for a second there during that first half, I was like, maybe Cam was right. And then that second half happened. I was like, maybe Cam kind of got a little too ahead of himself about Brock.
very beginning. In fact, I believe it was San Francisco's first drive. He threw it right to number 44.
Yep.
I mean, it was like he forgot that he was wearing the red jersey.
Yep.
So yeah,
right in the numbers.
first half was rough. Did a lot better in the second half. Was more efficient in the second half. Let me say that.
Second half, he was really aware. I thought he made some really heads up plays. He was running Lamar Jackson. He ran when he saw the opening and took chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like 20, 25 yards each time.
You didn't see it coming.
He did it like twice.
Three times.
Oh, three.
I think he had 3 rushes for almost 70 yards, something like that. I mean, he took chunks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he took chunks when it was time when he decided to run, and it put them on their toes. They had to figure out like, damn, we can't let him do that. And then he threw it. Now, granted, the face mask play should have been a pick. That should have been a pick, but everybody gets away with one.
Man, the Ravens were getting. Sorry, not the Ravens. No, that's a different game. I was just thinking about that aggression.
Okay.
You're saying that face mask, and that reminded me of Patrick Mahomes getting the manhood slapped out of him by that D line.
Yeah. Yeah.
That man he got back up off of there and had to hit puberty real fast again because, good Lord, did he shave some years off of that boy's life with that hit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, so we've got a rematch now.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco versus the Chefs, and we'll get back to that for our picks, right?
Yeah.
And okay, now that we've talked about the games, we can move on.
Right. So leading into the
breaking it up with a little bit of one story, and it just kept going. I'm like, hold up, man.
I go front. I just completely just spaced out on that other game. But leading into the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks here, what are some of the things you guys are looking forward to? Whether it's free agency moves or coaches, Pro Bowl, anything.
Well, I'll say this first and foremost. Ben Johnson announced today he contacted the Commanders and the Seahawks, who are also reaching out to him. He had a tentative deal with the Commanders. Seahawks had also reached out, and he said, I got unfinished business. I got to give it another run. So Ben Johnson will be back with the Lions next year. They had a great season, man. I didn't say that, but big up to Detroit, man. You had a great season, a great run. Best Lions team I've ever seen in my life. That was the best team they've ever put on the field since I've been alive. I'll say that. I really thought they had a legitimate shot to be in the big game in a couple of weeks, and I believe that if Seattle would have won the last game of the season, or if Seattle would have lost the last game of the season a year ago, and the Lions, last year's Lions, would have gotten to the playoffs, they would have won yesterday. Because they needed that one little playoff experience to see the intensity difference, to understand and feel that lose or win or go home a year before this year. They were fresh in this thing, man. And I think if they had that little bit of experience last year, because they would have been one and done last year. And, I've completely believe they would have been one and done last year. But that one and done would have been of just that little bit of taste where some of those young guys that was on this team would have felt that a year ago. And when they got up 17, they would have been better prepared to hold that lead and take that next step to the big one. I really believe that.
Yeah,
I really believe that. So, what am I looking for? What are the Lions going to do about that goddamn defense? That secondary needs some help. They good at the front. They can use another edge rusher probably. I think the linebacking core is pretty decent. Their secondary is they need corners. They need a cover corner. They need a corner that can cover.
Yeah.
They need Deion Sanders.
Yeah. That's what they need there.
They need a guy that can be on an island, man, like Reeves. He can have his own. They need a guy that can have his own island, and then we can double the other side. But that'll help a lot. They need a cover corner.
Well, if the Bears are dumb enough to let go of Jalen Johnson, he's available, and he's been considered one of the top corners this year.
Baller,
Yeah. That's
beast.
true.
He is a beast. That's one thing I'm looking.
So
At. I'm also looking at what are the Bears going to do. Speaking of the Bears,
I'm waiting to see too.
I am very, very curious and interested. I've never been so interested in what the Bears are going to do than I am right now.
I heard a 3-way trade proposed the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
New England gets the first pick
Ooh,
and takes Caleb Williams. Justin Fields goes to Dallas, and Dak Prescott comes to Chicago.
that'll be a disaster.
Oh, this.
Yes, it would. Yes, it
Uh-oh.
would.
Good Lord.
But we also get Daniels.
I was about to
in the
say
draft.
they have to get something else.
Yeah, we get Daniels in the draft.
Oh, damn, I would have taken at least a Whopper with Dak Prescott on that. Anything plus Dak Prescott.
Yeah, it's got to be Dak and some change.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's got to be Dak and some change. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would not do it.
I don't see the value of it.
Me neither. I don't see it either. And I don't see the value in the Bears trading Justin Fields to Atlanta to get their pick and Kyle Pitts, which is another thing that I've heard.
Actually, I do. Actually, that's not bad. I don't think that's terrible. I don't think that's terrible at all. Although I do like Cole Kmet.
I think he's better than Pitts.
He might be.
You're a
you might be
Bears fan.
right.
He's currently a Bear.
Well, he's also one of the top tight ends in the league the last couple of years.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but he's
mean,
not Kyle Pitts' top tight end in the league.
Kyle Pitts ain't really proved
He
nothing.
didn't do nothing last
He
year.
so far has been a little overrated. But a change of scenery could be just what he needs to come out that shell and a change of quarterback. In all fairness, who's been throwing him the ball?
Yeah.
You put him with, but then then they got to draft a quarterback, right?
Yep.
And then and that's the part I don't like about trading Justin Fields.
No.
I don't know what I'm getting at the draft.
Yeah.
I know what I got with Justin Fields.
You're either going to end up with Tom Brady or Jamarcus Russell.
Literally.
I mean, or a plethora of names in between.
Right.
A plethora of names in between. So yeah, I would not move Justin if I was.
And I'm sorry, with all the hype behind Caleb Williams, I see him being Jamarcus Russell this year.
Caleb Williams saying anybody that passed me up is in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
And guess what? I would be passing him up if I'm Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. You don't need Caleb.
Actually, I wouldn't pass him up. I'd be moving that first pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be moving the hell out that first pick. I don't care. I'm not trading Justin. If I am Chicago, I'm holding Justin Fields. And I know the money game comes into play. You get a rookie contract. I don't care. I don't know what I'm getting from a rookie.
Right. And then not
But
only
I
that,
know what I have in Justin.
Justin went 5-2 the last 7 games this year.
I just know what I have here.
So
I know what I have. Even if they lost games, I know what I have here. He's got the talent. He's an NFL quarterback I can work with, and I don't know what I'm getting out of the draft. So I would not do it. I wouldn't do it. I
No.
wouldn't do it. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, everybody, it's all hit or miss, but that's why I wouldn't do it because it's all hit or miss.
And you got teams in the top 5 that are actually fighting for the same quarterbacks.
They can have them.
Yeah, but you also got
Exactly.
another team in the top 5 that's aiming for Marvin, Marvin, what you call it, Junior.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. So you also have to take that into consideration that if you make that move and don't pick him first, you got to
Okay.
get him in that top 3.
Okay. Harrison goes off the board. Okay. Good. Now we got an offensive tackle that we can pick up, and we got a defensive end we can pick up.
I don't see it. I don't see a lose. I don't see a lose for them keeping Justin. I think Justin is the way to go.
I agree.
I would do it all day.
Wow, we all agreed on something for the Bears.
I
To
am.
be honest, I'd keep that
curious.
number 1.
What is Minnesota gonna do?
Oh, Kirk Cousins says he wants a 2-year contract for $90 million,
Kirk
fully
Cousins is
guaranteed.
out.
Mhm.
I think Kirk Cousins is out.
Yep.
Uh,
And there's a market for him out there, though. That's
Yeah.
the good thing for Minnesota. There's a little bit of a market for Kirk Cousins.
But no, he's a free agent.
yeah, he's
well,
a free
bye.
agent. We can't trade him.
Go get
Yeah.
the money.
But
Go.
at the same time, we are going to be trying to make a move for Penix. That's just a given. Minnesota's going to.
I all day. If Minnesota get Michael Penix, I'm the NFC North will be the toughest division in football.
Other than that, I have heard the clamoring about a potential Russell Wilson come to Minnesota. I personally don't want it. We need someone younger. Plain and simple. We need a young
Yeah,
guy.
it's time to start over. It's time to start fresh time.
Yeah, we get the building blocks that pretty much any good to great quarterback that comes into the league can work with right now on offense, with the exception of our running game. But Ty Chandler's starting to show some signs that he could be the future of our running game. So I think bringing in a rookie quarterback this year isn't that bad of an idea.
I will do it.
Should have got Hendon Hooker last year.
Now that's the team
I
that
agree.
needs. That's the team that can use the rookie quarterback. The
Mhm.
problem with Hendon Hooker for them is that Hendon Hooker is not young. Hendon Hooker's a rookie, but he's not a young rookie.
Yeah.
He's an older kid. He's an older guy. So, that's the thing is that but yeah, Minnesota is in a different position from the Bears. That's the team that needs to go ahead and pick a quarterback early.
Yeah.
The Bears need to go elsewhere with their picks.
Yeah, there's so much more they could do with theirs.
I wouldn't. There's no freaking way I'm moving Justin Fields.
Yeah, we need help on the defensive line and offensive line. So
Yeah.
that's where I'd use those first 2 picks.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We'll put a little capital on the D line for you. We'll send horrible Harry over
What
there.
will Green Bay do?
What does Green Bay do?
Get a receiver.
They just
Yeah.
did.
You could, but I don't.
They also need.
Christian Watson.
Yeah, that was like 2-3 years ago though. And they need another bona fide receiver. Plus, they also need help in their linebacking core.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd spend that capital they got personally on the defense this year. Offensively, you've proven yourself. You guys are very capable with guys who naturally on any other team are third and fourth string wide receivers. And
Yeah.
you make them come out there into the playoffs looking like they've been doing this for years.
Justin Love came around, and that was it.
Yeah. So I think offensively, they don't really have much to really work on. They just have to work on that chemistry more. And they got to make a decision on Christian Watson because he can't stay healthy to save his life. But
Which brings up a need for a receiver.
But at the same time, the need that they currently have the most of is on defense. You can make moves for receivers in free agency, but you need defense. and they got to start building those building blocks for that defense. You got to build the core of that defense. Because right now you have a
Jalen,
bunch of good, really good defensive players, but they don't have a core. That's why they didn't make it too far into the playoffs.
Okay. Sounds to me like
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
I want to jump off topic real quick if you don't mind.
All right.
There's been a whole lot of talk about what Shannon Sharp and Chad Ocho talked about the other night. Basically, more so what Shannon said, as far as nobody moves the needle like Taylor Swift, and Ocho said Beyonce, and he said so. He said no. Beyonce doesn't move the needle like Taylor Swift. He said, also mentioned that Taylor Swift is the closest thing we have to Michael Jackson right now. And it was paraphrased and quoted, and it's blowing up the internet right now. I don't know if you've heard it, if you heard it in context, or if you've just seen it out of context, but I'm curious about your thoughts.
as an artist and with her fan base, I could say it might be close, but as an entertainer, no. Mike was an entertainer, not just an artist. He was an entertainer.
See,
Taylor Swift's a songwriter slash artist.
me personally, I'm looking at this from a business perspective. Just like
Did
Michael
you did you
Jackson at
did you
his
hear it in context? I guess my question is, did you hear it in context, or are you reacting to the paraphrased comment that I just mentioned?
Reacting to the paraphrase comment.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Wade.
when it comes to right now, business wise, Taylor Swift is definitely the closest thing you've had to Michael Jackson since since Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. She is drawing in a lot of views, which equals a lot of dollars. She's bringing her entire fan base, which, yeah, granted, they're kind of uptight, sociopathic at times, and very unstable mentally. They're bringing in the bucks. Whether or not they could tell the difference between a 3-pointer and a touchdown, I could care less as a businessman. They're bringing in money.
And
Yeah. Now, are you reacting to the paraphrased comment, or did you hear it in context?
I heard needle mover, and that is all I heard. She's a needle mover, which in today's society is
My question is, did you hear the show where you heard it in context,
well,
or are you reacting to just the paraphrased comment because that's all you got?
I was just off of what you said.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
I'm going to say that's very astute response, because and that's what I've been trying to get people to understand that's been reacting to this, because you go through the comments and everybody's reacting like Big Ed did, because they're reacting to the paraphrased comment. There's no, she's not close to an entertainer, blah blah blah. Beyonce this, blah blah blah. It had nothing to in context. It had zero to do with entertainment. It was not, the conversation was not about entertainment. It was about football and the new money that she's bringing to the NFL. While everybody's getting sick of them showing Taylor Swift, the fact that they're showing Taylor Swift is generating hundreds of millions of dollars that the NFL would not otherwise be getting. And that's why they don't give a damn about you not wanting to see Taylor Swift, because all those little white girls that don't watch football can't wait for you to show Taylor. They are tuning in so that you will watch, so that they can see Taylor Swift.
I watched a video earlier
Oh,
today. It was like a little 8, 9 year old girl, right? Her dad, they're watching the football game. Her dad's sitting there quizzing her on the football game. And she's getting everything right. Where's the tight end lineup? What position does Travis Kelce play? What number is he? You know, all of that. How many yards for a first down? How many points do you get? The girl was answering every question right at 8 and 9 years old.
Okay, so back on topic.
But it goes with the top because she got into football because Taylor Swift was going to the Kansas City games.
If she knows that much about the game, it sounds more like Dad's been coaching her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds more like Dad got her in the football.
Well, I'm just saying what they presented the video as.
A long time before Taylor Swift got there, because they don't care. Like Wade said, they don't care if you don't know a touchdown from a field goal. All they care about is that you're buying merchandise and you're giving us views. You're on Peacock streaming. That's what they like about streaming, is that streaming gives you much more solid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ratings is a general, it's very general. Ratings is based on one person represents a neighborhood, right? Streaming is very, very, very specific. This many people watched the game. And trust me, when Kansas City played, those numbers went boom because Taylor Swift was there. Yeah. And what his point was that a lot of Beyonce fans are already watching football. She's not going to move the needle for the NFL. She's not bumping those numbers for the NFL the way Taylor Swift is. There's not a whole boatload of new people watching to see Beyonce when they show Beyonce in there. Yes, there may be some, but not like these Taylor Swift fans, because there's not a football audience. It's a completely new audience. And like he said, what he meant when he said she's the closest thing to Michael Jackson we have now. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson would move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson's at all the Indianapolis Colts games. People these kids, this audience, the people, the way they felt about Michael, they're going to watch to see the glimpse of Michael Jackson. That's the way the Taylor Swift fans are. They just want to get a glimpse of Taylor Swift. It's this idolization, and while Beyonce has a very, very huge audience, she has a loyal audience. They are not as obsessed with getting a glimpse of Beyonce as Taylor Swift fans are obsessed with getting a glimpse of Taylor Swift, like Michael Jackson fans were of getting a glimpse of Michael Jackson.
And for the NFL, this doubles up for them because it's a double positive.
Yes.
They're getting this exposure. They're making all of this money because of her. And they don't have to pay her a dime for it.
Not a dime.
You kidding me? I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. You know what?
Didn't I hear that
touchdown he makes? Put her on the screen.
I think I saw somewhere also that Travis Kelce's jersey is like #1 selling jersey in America right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been so since the first time Taylor Swift showed up.
Mm-hmm. Just watch this spring. Watch how Letterman's jackets all of a sudden go on a rise. All because Taylor Swift over at the Super Bowl is wearing a Letterman's jacket that was the Kansas City Chiefs.
But you know, hers is actually custom made.
Doesn't matter.
Juszczyk, the 49ers fullback.
Yeah.
His wife actually makes those.
That's pretty dope. But either way, she's creating another source of revenue for the NFL because all of a sudden teams are selling Letterman's jackets.
They've generated they've estimated they've generated over $300 million new money because of Taylor Swift.
Damn.
Oh, you.
Next year,
that's what, in context, that's what he was talking about when he said nobody's moving the needle like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Next year, the NFL's going to have to put her under contract.
But they've been trying to get her to do Super Bowl, but she won't do it.
I'm okay with it. Take what you can now. You already see what you're getting.
Why? Because they don't get paid to perform at the Super Bowl.
I was just going to say that's why a lot of artists won't do it is because they don't get paid.
Yeah, and she don't need that shit. For what?
Right?
For what?
Until Travis lets her know about the history of performing at the Super Bowl and what it could mean for her career as a iconic career. Because all the icons did it. Are you
Maybe
better than
one
them?
day. Maybe one day. Right now, it's she's playing it right because you're right. All the icons did it, but look how long Michael Jackson was a star before he did it.
Yeah.
Prince,
How long was Prince a star before he did it?
Janet.
Well, Janet did it kind of early, but Janet didn't have the start of. We talking Michael and Prince,
Yeah.
right? She didn't have that star. She didn't have that star, so she did it fairly early. She did it to bump herself. That's why she snatched the titty out to boost herself, right? She did it for a boost. A lot of artists do it for a boost, do it for a bump. Does Usher really need the bump? Probably not.
I don't know.
He can use it though. It's not gonna hurt him.
I was gonna say, with as much as his name's been brought up with anything concerning Diddy,
And
maybe
he still
this
got
is
his
a
Las
perfect
Vegas.
opportunity to get something different coming out of people's mouth about him.
Well,
got that.
the thing is, if he goes on tour, anything like that, he's gonna get a bump. He'll get a bump from it. Go ahead. What was you saying, Big Ed?
Oh, I was going to say right now he's got the hottest show in Las Vegas right now. So
Yes. Yeah. He don't need it. He don't need it, but it's not gonna hurt him. Whereas Michael Jackson and Prince was just, I'm an icon. Let me just add this to my resume real quick. I mean, and they were in my small world of an estimation, they were the two greatest halftime performances of all times.
yes,
I can agree with that. Super Bowl performances, I do put them number 2 and 3.
Who
Because
you got over them?
Whitney,
Whitney was a national anthem.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It was a Super Bowl performance.
No,
I'm not talking halftime.
We're talking halftime.
We're talking halftime.
I know what you're talking
What
about.
are you talking
That's
about?
why
Practice?
I corrected it. That's why I said
You talking
that outside of practice or halftime. I chose my words.
Let's see.
Gotta
Okay.
But
listen.
that wasn't the topic of conversation. The topic of conversation is
It was the
halftime.
halftime show, right. So the greatest national anthem at the Super Bowl, absolutely Whitney. And quite frankly, I'm not putting Whitney over to Michael and Prince, even if you include that. I'm not
Right.
doing
It was one song. One.
When Mike popped up and still held that pose forever. I thought to the point where you thought it was a mannequin. Like, is that really him? Because at first you knew it was him, and then it was like, no, that can't be him. That's just a statue. And he stood there, and then he moved. Oh, man, it was phenomenal.
And I just got goosebumps thinking about this one. Prince,
Prince did
start playing Purple
Rain
Rain,
in
and it
the
starts
rain.
raining.
Come on, miss
Well,
me.
Whitney Houston's national anthem is
Miss
better
me.
than that.
Miss me with it. Miss me.
It's a personal
where-
opinion. I
you-
know
you
you guys
know
have
where-
a hard time understanding that a little bit.
You
but
know
it
where
is
that
personal.
list goes? It goes in the same list with the dumbass of the week last week on the smoke session.
But there's been some great halftime shows, man, over the years, man. Coldplay was phenomenal. Lady Gaga got a lot of love for hers. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah.
It
At the
didn't
time, I
move-
wasn't.
The
It didn't
weekends
work
was
for me.
garbage.
Oh, the weekend
Weekend was
terrible.
trash. Yeah, he was trash.
I was so disappointed. in
Bruno
it.
was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruno was
Yeah,
dope.
Bruno was dope.
Beyonce was dope.
Yep.
Dr. Dre and the crew was dope.
I was just gonna
Yep.
say last year's was dope.
See, I put that one at number 3. Mike 1, Prince 2.
That's hard for me.
Ooh,
I
I'd put Prince number 1 out of halftime shows.
I got Prince 1 as well. Yeah, I got Prince 1, Mike 2. 3 is tough. 3 is tough because
It's so far away from
Beyonce and
everybody
Bruno
else from the other
when
two.
Beyonce and Bruno when Beyonce and them did the formation, I don't know. I think I put a little more. I mean, I get it. It was hip hop and that's beautiful, but there was that Beyonce and Bruno one was tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough to beat. That was a bad one. That's up there for me. That might be my three. The one with Janet Jackson pulling the titty out before she pulled the titty out. That one was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That
it
one
got
was dope.
superseded by the rest.
I thought the Rolling Stones was good. It's not in my top 5, but I thought they were good. Coldplay was fire, and I wasn't even a Coldplay fan, and that was on my feet. I was like, these motherfuckers phenomenal.
Maroon 5 was pretty good too. when they
Maroon
did that.
5 was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maroon 5 was a lot better than I expected. But yeah, definitely in the conversation for 3. At worst, 4 is the Dr. Dre one. I think I still put Beyonce over it, and I think I put Janet at 5 behind Dr. Dre and them. But that was. I mean, there's been some great shows over the years, man.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm looking
curious-
forward to this Usher one.
I'm
I am-
interested.
I've seen Usher before, and he was fantastic. So
Mike, he's an entertainer.
I'm curious
What
to
about
see
Rihanna?
what features he brings in on this as well.
Me too. What about Rihanna?
I was lukewarm on Rihanna's.
Yeah.
So was I. All right, I'm cool with that. I didn't want to be on the island with that, so that's why I asked before I commented. I was there too. I'm with you. I was,
Yeah, it was a little harder for me.
and I like Rihanna, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that didn't do it for me.
You could tell that she was lip syncing, for one. And then she's out there, what, 5-6 months pregnant at the same time,
Yeah,
30 feet off the ground.
Yeah, didn't do it for me. Didn't do
Nah.
it for me.
Yeah.
I tell you, another one that was trash was Katy Perry.
Oh man, that was garbage.
I completely forgot she even performed. It was so bad.
I did too, but for some reason it just popped in my head. Yeah, that one was trash.
Has Aerosmith ever done one?
I have not seen. I don't recall Aerosmith ever doing one.
Oh, that's a
I
miss.
think the Who did one. The Who did one, and
Didn't
that
you
was
two make an appearance
U2,
at one?
I think you
Bon
two
Jovi
did.
as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're correct. Bon Jovi.
Bruce Springsteen did once, I believe.
Yeah. So that's halftime shows, folks. What's your favorite? Put it in the comments. What's your top 5? I want to know your top 5 halftime shows. I gave my top 5 in order: Prince, Mike, Beyonce and Bruno. The one because she did more than one. I like the one with her and Bruno teamed up because Bruno did it twice too
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did it once by himself and then once with
with Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Exactly. Yeah. He was dope by himself too, actually. As he came out on the drums, and I was like, this dude is phenomenal. And I didn't know he wasn't really that guy yet.
Right.
But I got Prince, Mike, the Beyonce, Bruno, Dr. Dre and the crew, and then I'm going with Janet Jackson pulling the titties out.
Mm.
The titty show.
Okay. I go Mike, Prince. I go with Dr. Dre now. Beyonce and Bruno. And then Janet.
Same 5, just mixed around 3 and 4. I got
Yeah, I got the same 5 as well, but I did mix it around a bit. Because I do got Prince, I got Mike as 1 and 2. 3, only because at that time I was hitting puberty pretty hard. So Janet.
Fair enough.
And then I would go Beyonce, Bruno, because that was dope. And then last year's, or
Yeah,
not last year's. Yeah, last year's was Dr. Dre, wasn't it?
No, last year was Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah,
Okay,
last year was Rihanna. Right, you're right. Okay, all right. That was fun. Thanks, Shannon, for taking us down that rabbit hole.
Right. All right, so it's time to make that pick, that special pick of the year for the
The
Super Bowl.
last pick of the year.
Yes. So we got KC, which is technically the away team, at San Francisco, the 49ers
In Las Vegas.
in Vegas. Oh, look at that. If Jimmy G stayed in with the 49ers, either way, he could have been to the Super Bowl this year. At least he still got to make it with his old team, right? So who do you guys got? KC or San Fran?
I know where OG's going already. We ain't even got to ask him.
I don't know.
But-
This is the Super Bowl.
I do think that San Francisco's defense is going to be a little bit too much for Kansas City. And defense wins championships. So I'm going 49ers.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers as well. I'm gonna make a prediction for the Super Bowl MVP. And I have a feeling it's gonna be Brandon Ayuk.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to make a prediction as well. Not for the MVP, because I think the MVP is going to be Purdy. But here's my hot take on the Super Bowl. I got San Francisco in a landslide. They're going to come out and blow the fucking doors off the shelves. They are going to beat them like they beat the Cowboys and the Eagles. They're going to stump a mud hole in them bitches. You hear me, Dejan? We're going to stump a mud hole in those bitches out of Kansas City. That's my prediction, and that's my hot take on the Super Bowl. It won't be a close one. It's going to be a boat race.
I forgot this was a Super Bowl where it's father versus son. Ooh, it just got deeper. All right, that's all I got for you guys this week.
Boat raced, baby. Boat raced.
All right.
Yo, man, that's it for the show. We want to thank y'all for joining us. I'm your boy, OG Tim Wilson. That's Big Ed. That's Waze. And we out of here like last year. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we want to see you again and we want to see you around. We like it when you come in and check us out. Check out some of the other shows, too. I think you'll like some of the other shows that we got going on. And we got the Showdown. We got the What Up Though Show, of course. It's the What Up Though Show Network. We also got the Smoke Session 612 and the Waze Verse on the way. So it's a whole lot of cool shit that we do, and we want to see y'all there. So that's it for us. On behalf of the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Waze, I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. Peace out, and keep your we out of here.